Hello, investors. This is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Thursday, January 29th, 4:37 p.m. Eastern Time. Coming to you with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state, we are in an uptrend. If we take a look, trend gauge over here, market leaders, the green arrow with the yellow sub arrow, and then indexes, although some volatility today, all closed above their 21 EMA, 50 SMA, and long-term 200 SMA. What happened today? We kind of kicked off a batch of big tech earnings, and Microsoft finished the day down. Tesla did as well. And then Meta was the highlight in that group. And then Apple is also reporting tonight. We'll cover that later in the video. And then just saw some relative strength in small caps, mid caps versus other broad indices. File numbers, a little bit all over the place today. There was quite some volatility, which I'll cover when I get into the charts. But 21 over 21 list was down minus 0.37%, 6 green, 3 neutral, 12 red. Turbo 12 was down 3.7%. And that kind of displays the image of a lot of the high beta stocks, which are in the Turbo 12 list, had quite a lot of volatility today. 1 green, 10 red. Big 8 down 0.45%, RG8 down 0.74%, S&P flat on the day, equal weight S&P up 0.13%, QQQ down 0.61%, equal weight down minus 1.28%, Dow Jones flat on the day. Mid caps down 0.18, Russell 2000 slightly positive, up 0.03%. 60/40 stock and bond unchanged, flat on the day. GROTECTION down 0.55%, and then TurboTection down 0.85% on the day. Let's get into the inter-asset correlation and chart the S&P 500. And as you can see, quite the volatility today. We opened up pretty much flat, and you can see right off the open, the first hour to 2 hours of the day was pretty heavy selling, and then kind of a V-shaped rally into the close, making it look a lot better than it really was. And a lot of stocks were getting hammered today. But again, you got to be cognizant of the ATR of the stocks as well. But strong close, but again, still a bit of a choppy market. And you can see really we still haven't seen that follow through from the indexes, right? Every time it tries to poke its head above and go, it just comes back into the base. And that's what it did again here. So maybe this was the final shake before a confirmed breakout through 7,000. RSP, nice relative strength on this one today. Looks a lot more clean and actually holding trend since this breakout, and looks like it's looking to emerge out of this continuation pattern as well. Qs, again, same theme, lots of volatility today. Rejecting the 637 high. And I'll just pull up a 5 minute. As you can see, pretty heavy selling off the open and then V-shaped back up into the close. So perhaps this is a handle out here before a move higher. Mag 7, pretty much flat on the day. Some volatile action from big tech earnings. Dow Jones looks pretty good. Got a downtrend line here from the highs, potentially setting up to break out. Mid caps, undercut and reclaim of the 21. This looks good and still a leading area of the market. Russell 2000, nice hammer off the 21 and closing the day positive. And again, this was had that strong outperformance to start the year. And again, everything typically comes back to the mean that was, one of a record stretch of outperformance. So had that first pullback and now potentially looking to confirm higher out of this flag. Our continued relative weakness, FFTY, some volatility there. VIX shot up, and this was again shot up almost into that 20 spot, which we have talked about before. That 1820 mark in an uptrend can sometimes be a good opportunity if it can pull back off that spot and closed under 18. So that's good to see. Although the ATR of the S&P 500 continues to expand back up to 0.85 as of today's close. Dollar, 96.22. That's kind of a big level. If that can undercut and reclaim, that would potentially be a foul breakdown on the dollar, but we shall see. Quite oversold, but just now breaking out of this, multi-month bear flag, bearish base. Gold, tons of volatility. Again, this followed suit with equities. It was pretty aggressive selling off the open and then a rally back up into the close. And again, a lot of people continue to want to short precious metals, right? They are extended. It's pretty obvious, accelerating to the upside, kind of creating this parabolic curve. But again, still bounced right off the short-term 8 EMA. So until like that short-term moving average cracks, it's anyone's guess how high these can go. GDX, minor relative weakness, but still holding the 8 EMA. Silver, same thing. You can see, right? People thought it was going to break down. V-shape it back up into the close and bounce right off the 8 EMA again. Bitcoin, major relative weakness, still breaking out of this bear flag here. And take a look at MSTR, new lows down 10% again today. And just, this stock has gotten crushed in the past year after a really strong 2024. And then it's just been in a steep correction for a while now. Bonds in a range, TLT rates pulling back a little bit. All right, let's take a look at the tail of the tape. We got the new sentiment readings today. AAII bulls ticked up to 44, bears ticked down to 30, NAM up about 4 points to 92.58. The NAM's been elevated for quite some time, so just something to monitor. Percent of stocks with a 5-day moving average are pretty neutral. 45 for the S&P 500, and then 39 for the Nasdaq 100. So again, can look at it as a positive. There's room for those to rally if they want to. News-wise, we got Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla earnings yesterday after the close. I'll cover those charts when we get into that. And then also Apple and SanDisk reported after the close, which I'll cover in the charts as well. And then looking like there's going to be a government shutdown approaching. Today's keys, S&P, Qs, and the Russell all held above the 21 EMA, all below all-time highs. Going to be watching the same stuff for tomorrow. Uh, Day count kind of consolidation too, 6 days above the 8 EMA, 6 days above the 21 EMA. Sectors wise, oil and gas was strong. Airlines, Southwest, LUV had quite a day today on earnings. Regional banks with small caps, relative strength, and rates pulling back a little bit. And then pick is just like another metals ETF. And then weakness, Bitcoin, big breakdown. Software just continues to get slammed, even after that Cloudflare news. Had a nice 2 days, and it's given all of that back. Meme, which is high beta ETF. Uranium pulling back a little bit today. Silver miners and rare earth metals. GROTECTION today sold BAE, Tesla, and LLY, and then shorted via FNGD 1.39 RVAB, 6.31% estimated balance at risk. TurboTection got stopped out of figure and crowd. Offensive trim on gold 1.72 RVAB, estimated balance at risk minus 6.63%. Bottom line, Meta up, Microsoft, Tesla down, plus small and mid cap and equal weight relative strength today. All right. Let's start with SanDisk, which we own in both portfolios. Up another 12%, over 600, and what a monster earnings. They beat by $2.58, beat on revenues, guided Q3 EPS above consensus, and revenues above consensus. And data center revenue was up 64% sequentially. And that was basically driven by strong adoption among AI infrastructure builders, semi-custom customers, and technology companies deploying AI at scale. Non-GAAP gross margins of 51.1% as well. And again, this is an absolute super stock. Still owned in TurboTection and GROTECTION, and just unbelievable. Take a look at Apple. Apple is, trading at 260, so not falling apart, flat. That's not too bad. This has been weak lately, but see if this can find some footing. And then Microsoft got hit quite a bit, down 10% on 423% above average volume. You can see just kind of, no bid whatsoever today. Tesla, GROTECTION got stopped out of this one today. And again, just, Tesla just can't get itself together. Obviously, a lot of people love this stock, right? People are bullish Elon Musk, but from a fundamental perspective, it is expensive stock and they kind of have deteriorating fundamentals. But again, everyone's looking at the future and how innovative Elon Musk can be. But price is price, and this was down 3.5%. And we'll be this will be front and center if it starts to go again, but just doing absolute nothing for a while. And then GROTECTION also stopped out of Lilly, sold the rest of it. And then, oh, Meta, really nice action, up 10.5%, gapped up, pulled back, closed at the highs of the day. Had 271% above average volume, back above the 200-day moving average. Really good action there. Good for tech, good for Mag 7. TurboTaxion, we got stopped out of crowd, tried to play it on the early turn through the 200-day with that, with some bounce early turns in software and cyber. This just failed, took the loss there, and then Figure outside reversal, tried it on the reclaim of the 21 and turning back up and just squatted, and then took an offensive trim on gold, selling some in strength into this 500 Livermore super extended 10 ATR above the 50-day moving average. So took some profits on that one. Let's see. And then energy was strong. So you can see XLE kind of closed weak, but that was quite strong today. And then, on the topic of software, I mean, look at ServiceNow reported earnings down 10%, new lows. You have MongoDB was watching this as a beach ball underwater, falling apart today. You have, let's see, Hubs. I mean, another new low today. Let's take a look at IGV just getting hit super hard. Palantir, former leader, breaking the 200-day moving average. Kind of looking like stage three top, but we'll see earnings in 4 days. So that could be a catalyst to gap this one back up. DOCN, one of the better looking ones, pulling back to the top of the base after a strong move. And then Net, Cloudflare, right, had this really strong 3 day push on volume and just gave quite a bit back today. But so super choppy, software can't find a bid whatsoever. And see if that changes. The narrative is pretty strong right now. 21 over 21 list. LUV, quite the day. New highs up 18% on a nice earnings report. Carvana had a short report yesterday, trying to bounce back today. APH, nice strength after that earnings shake to the 50-day and rallying back up. SanDisk just continues to defy gravity. I mean, just unbelievable. Google, nice bounce today. Pulled back, closed strong, green on the day, held the 21 EMA. Teradyne acting phenomenal. We own this in TurboTaxion. It's been a really smooth trade. Just continues to ride higher in earnings in 4 days. FTAI might be getting our first pullback on this one after a super strong linear run after breaking out of this base. Moving averages are catching up, working off some of that extension. Micron up after hours as well. I mean, the memory names are just incredible nonstop. Rocket potentially trying to hammer up through here. CCJ, your leader in the uranium, continuing higher. Valero outside reversal. Typically is hard buying oils on strength. Sienna potentially looking to emerge out of this market surge has this as an ascending base. This looks really good. ALB might be pulling back to the 21 EMA. Coherent holding up at the highs, looks good. TAN pulling back. First Solar got hit with the downgrade today, down 10%. I mean, these solar stocks are just so hard to trade. Boeing, GROTECTION stopped out of this one, breaking the 21 EMA. Rocket Lab getting tight, forming a flag here off the 21 EMA. GDX pulling back a little bit. Zoom pulling back to the top of the base. Could be an opportunity on that one. BE also pulling back to the top of the base. Still looks healthy. And then MP. There was some news on rare earths. I don't want to comment on too much because I didn't fully look into it, but I believe Reuters put out an article that was false, and so this kind of caused the hit. Some of these ones, like look at CRML down, down 18% on the day. MP USAR has gotten demolished since that news on Sunday night, down 12%. So yeah, we've seen that. The information has put out, false articles before. So again, which, can cause a lot of difficulties as the algos and people are reacting to news real time. But Turbo 12, FLNC to me also looks like this one's continuing out of an ascending base. Baidu Setting up continuation flag after a really strong move. TMDX still in a big base. SQM pulling back. Some of these, like ALB, sister stock pulling back as well. TSEM continues to hold the 21 EMA. EOSC getting tight here, potential for in a cup. KTOS close right at the 21 day. See if this can maybe handle out and continue higher. REMX pulling back a little bit. We trimmed this one the other day. Hot consolidating at the highs. Planet Labs forming another base, maybe consolidation. DOCN pulling back and then figure just some volatility, but can be expected for a recent IPO. So all in all, despite the flat closes kind of for the indexes, a lot of the high beta thematic stocks, there was quite a lot of volatility today, and that has been the case for some time. So typically, using a wider stop, sizing down smaller, and being a little bit more patient can help. GV is another one we bought yesterday. This one's holding up pretty good. See if this can, get out of this base, and then take a look at some of the, AI data centers. Irene down 5%, but holding in pretty well. WGMI is the ETF, again, holding up pretty well also. And then some uranium names, URNM still looks pretty good. And then quadruple U potentially starting to form a handle here on the right side. LEU's just been super choppy, down 10%, but still watching this range, 50 days starting to hook back up. So um, let's see. Yeah, so that is everything. That is going to wrap it. As always, like to hear from you. My email is connor@revereasset.com. You can always reach out to me on Twitter at connorjbates_. Phone is 855 Real Wealth, 855-732-5932. And if you are ever interested in becoming a client, as always, please reach out. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great evening. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll see you tomorrow.